morning, Dancing with the Stars fans. We are having too much fun. I'm Lauren Zima.
I'm Cameron Matheson.
And Victoria Arlen is here. Yes!
Yes! Thank you for coming to join us today.
You guys for having me.
It's not like you have a lot going on right now.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
Casual.
Yeah, you just had the morning off. Decided to come hang out with us.
Just want to have a cup of coffee with you guys.
That's right.
You guys, thank you for being here on ET Live. Of course, we want your comments and questions for Victoria. Tell us what you thought of last night's episode and ask her pretty much anything, I think. She's an open book.
Really? Be careful.
Ready. Oh, boy.
Be careful because the questions keep kind of coming in right here. So
jeez.
Leave them on ET's Facebook page, and we will get them here on our fabulous ET iPad. And we're going to dive right in to talk about last night.
Yeah.
So Terrell and Cheryl went home. Tell me what the vibe was like. Cam, you're there on the press line, and of course you're part of the show. Were people surprised? What was it like in the room?
I mean, you never want to see anyone go home. And Terrell and Cheryl are both just beautiful humans, beautiful dancers. Terrell has worked so hard. It was just, I mean, it's a bummer, but at this point in competition, you just have to just hug everyone and hold on to one another and be proud of everyone as well.
I think on some level, and correct me if I'm wrong, but on some level from the first week, I think he was like in jeopardy very early on, first or second week or something. So a lot of people thought he was going to go home a little bit earlier, but he really did improve his dancing, and also he became more personable, I thought.
Totally.
And he helped me yesterday too. I had a little health scare, and he was one of the first people that ran over and was like, "Do you need anything?" Or he's just he's a very dear human and a very sweet person.
He really is, and I hope that Kelly Monaco love connection happens. How real was that?
I was rooting for it. I was rooting for it.
I don't know if this is going to make ET tonight, but I'll tell you this: on the press line, I was asking him about it. Kelly didn't do the press line, but I said, you got a little bit of spare time now. How about that date with Kelly? And he's like, I asked her about it, and she told me to DM her. And he was like,
he couldn't even get the cell number?
He couldn't even get the digits.
Oh, yikes!
She's like, DM. So these days, because I'm out of the circuit a little bit, is that like a little bit of a diss? Getting the DM?
It depends.
Just DM me.
It depends because I don't know. I mean, I think it depends. It honestly depends. It's a safe route for some people. It's a safe route.
Maybe that's what it is without giving. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, honestly, it's the fact. I mean, you could have just heard a straight up no, but if you said DM, you're still like the door's still there.
The door. Let's ask the people. I would like to know what you guys think. Is a DM a downgrade?
Exactly right.
So it feels like a downgrade.
So Terrell got
I'm
DM
trying
me.
to have the benefit of the doubt, guys.
No, that's good. That's good. Let's hear you. But I didn't know. I kind of heard that. I was like, that doesn't sound like good news to me, but I don't know.
You never know.
I'm like out of the game.
People could, I'm sure a lot of great relationships have stemmed from sliding into your DMs.
Into the DMs.
Okay.
Okay.
I need to ask you this. Remind me of last night, when we're doing the elimination, you're all up on the stage. By the time it came to you and Val, there was some concern. Didn't they, two couples were safe? Were you nervous when they were hanging on? They're like, Victoria and Val.
Oh, God, that part.
Like, in other words, I remember, Val kind of putting his head.
I also was having trouble standing up, so he was also holding me up.
But I was like, it felt to me like the rhythm of the way they normally do the eliminations. And again, I'm trying to remember the order, and maybe I'm messing stuff up, but I remember, you're safe.
Well, it's
Victoria
different.
And Val. And then I was like,
definitely
oh,
different.
no.
With you.
Oh,
well,
no.
They said two names before ours.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, so it's different with everyone. But I mean, anytime I'm always holding up for dear life.
I mean,
because it's. I think anyone. It's just you've worked so hard and you want to keep going.
Yeah.
And for me, especially after last night, and so. Honestly, I was just holding on, and I was just like, okay, just saying my prayers.
Because they do change up their. So this is the way I try to figure it all out in my head.
You
know
can't
what I mean? 'Cause I gotta
figure it out. You just gotta trust, and I always hand it up to the good Lord upstairs.
You're
and
just
I'm
like whatever.
Give it up.
But it feels like they go safe Jeopardy. You know what I'm trying to say? So I thought maybe you guys, I was like, oh no, but it was a safe.
Yeah.
So clearly my algorithm is off.
We got to produce the show and be. That's the thing. You've been on it, but you're also a producer. You're thinking in that mindset.
I don't know.
Julie says she was bummed to see T.O. go home.
Yeah.
I think at this point, especially, I mean, semifinals are next week. Everybody is beloved. Everybody's been working so hard and killing it. So it is a bummer. And this season, we've said this, has felt like shocking elimination after shocking elimination because the talent's been so good from the start.
Yes.
Now, you mentioned health scare.
Yes.
You mentioned mentioned Val barely being able to hold you
We got to
up.
talk to you about this.
Let's get into the reality of this, because Tom touched upon it, but you were just kind of telling us a little bit before we started just how bad things were for you yesterday. Can you tell us what happened at dress rehearsal?
Yesterday was definitely a tough day. We were going through a dress rehearsal. I had woken up with some pain in my ribs. I had done something to my ribs, but I was powering through. I have an unusually high pain tolerance, and so powering through and just kind of felt a little off. And then during dress rehearsal, like the second to last eighth count, we were doing, and I hit my mark and my knees buckled, and then Val, it was right into a kind of a dip, and my whole right side just kind of gave out and spasmed, and I was immobile. I couldn't really get up, and so Val helped me get up, and I just couldn't move. My whole right side just stopped.
And people were witnessing this, like
yeah,
Tom
like
Bergeron
it was
there,
dress
like,
rehearsal.
right,
It was
right.
full
So everybody's
dress.
standing around.
Yeah.
So for people at home that don't realize, dress rehearsal, usually a lot of the couples are waiting for their turn
Everyone's
for dress
watching.
rehearsal.
It's like a show.
It's like a show.
Just without the audience.
Within the family, right?
Yeah,
So
so
everybody
everyone-
saw this. And so what was the
Yes.
reaction from those around?
It was, I mean, I'm in the throes of trying not to, because there's always a risk of a spasm turning into a seizure for me. So I'm just trying to get my bearings and move, and it's very scary for me when I can't move, obviously. And so it was definitely very quiet. Everyone was very, I mean, Tom ran over, our PT ran over, everyone. Val swooped me up and helped me get to an area where I could kind of stretch out and lay down. It was challenging. I think it was definitely, you could have heard a pin drop.
Did Val literally carry you off the floor?
He literally picked me up
Val.
from the ballroom, yeah. And I mean, you know,
Superhero.
Val is as much as he's my dance partner, he's my friend, and he's my biggest supporter on this show. And
Yeah.
and you know, you never want to see your friend suffering. And so he just was kind of my rock yesterday, and just made sure I was okay. Because it was scary. I mean, it was scary for me, but I think for someone who hasn't experienced it, and everyone there, we're one big family. And Tio was one of the first people that ran over to see if I needed help, and so was Tom, and everyone just really was so helpful. And I'm just like, it's okay, I'm okay, even though I'm not okay. I'm trying to ease the tension.
It sounded by the way you were describing it, like this happens sometimes, because you said it's scary for me when a spasm goes into a seizure, which alludes to the fact that this happens before.
It has, yeah.
Okay.
I've battled. I mean, this is unfortunately the nature of what I've gone through. It's kind of the aftermath.
Gotcha.
I've been very fortunate the last year to have I haven't had a seizure in over a year, so I've been on a good track. But unfortunately, just with my neurological system, sometimes just like things can go awry, and we've been really pushing it, and you know, obviously the rib pain and everything just kind of acted up. And thank goodness it happened in dress, and I was able to recoup, because there was a thought of possible, we didn't know if I was going to get, you know, my movement back in time, and I was really struggling with walking for a while. So
you could barely walk, and you're wondering, how am I going to do this show tonight?
Yes,
Wow.
we're
It's
in
crazy.
PT, and and I'm devastated, because I love my dress, and I loved that Argentine tango.
And you were like, if it ever happens, I'm getting out there in
I'm
this
sitting
dress.
there, and my half side is spasming, and I was like, but it was so good. And I was like, just breathe, it's okay. I'm like, but I had it.
But the dress is so beautiful.
dress.
It's got to make live TV.
Like, he's sitting there, and they're trying to release this spasm, and I'm like, I went for it. It was really good.
And you said Val
That's
even
crazy.
designed that dress for you?
He did. He
Who
did
knew?
that. That whole thing was just his creative, and I had wanted to do the Argentine tango, so I was bummed, because I was just like, oh, we had it,
Man.
and then it just went.
You know, and it
You know.
deserves to sort of like tell people at home, because what we do is we hear these stories, these injuries that lead up to before the show, and then we see you perform, and you're flawless, and so people at home were like, you know, it couldn't have been that bad. I mean, look at them; they were perfect. But even in my, experience on the show, it's incredible what happens with the physical therapy,
Yes.
the adrenaline before a show, the motivation.
Yeah.
I mean, it's incredible what you can overcome in a short period of time.
And how breathing and saying certain words will help you conquer that pain too.
Is that what you do?
Yeah,
That's amazing.
last night we were doing, it was just breathing. Him and I were just like, let's breathe, and I had so much kinesio tape and medication.
I
and
saw
everything.
that kinesio tape.
I should have been a kinesio tape model.
What is
honestly.
kinesio
It
tape?
is. It's the therapy tape that kind of keeps your muscles, and yeah. So that's been my best friend this whole season, and it's just kind of act as an extra support. But the tango, it was a lot of Val and I together. It was the jive that was probably the hardest.
My God,
the
of
hardest one,
course.
because my legs were not sharp by any means.
Well, you looked great. I mean, you were awesome, and you've just overcome so much. Do you have a mantra that you say? Is it something you and Val have come up with, or something you've done in recent years?
We always pray before our dances and just kind of take a moment. And yesterday especially, I think it was a reality check for the both of us where we're like, this is really a miracle, and that's not a cliche way. I mean, just the fact that I'm standing is a feat in of itself, especially yesterday after what happened. And so we like to keep it perspective and keep gratitude and keep the joy. As much as last night, we had to be serious and sexy. We were still having a lot of fun, prepping for it and everything. And it's just having fun and really understanding that this is just a tremendous blessing, and we have an opportunity to go out there and make a difference. I'm sure there's other people that are going through things, and if we can do a sassy little tango to brighten someone's day, then that's all that matters. But yesterday especially, it was just keeping it light, keeping it positive, and getting out there and just going for it. I've been through a lot, so it takes a lot to phase me.
Yeah.
But I think it wasn't until after the show that I was like, oh gosh,
oh my God. Well, can I ask you one more question about, because your sharing of your journey has enlightened people to so much, and I think we still don't understand everything that you've been through. When you go through something like what happened at dress rehearsal, is there any fear in you of that your body might go back to some of the worst places it's been? What does the future for your body look like? Could it ever regress? And is that a fear that you have?
It's definitely a fear. I think one of the biggest fears of mine when I got better was the relapsing. And I've never really been given the 100% you're in the clear. That's just unfortunately the nature of what's happened and the severity of it and just how rare it is. But I learned very early on that you can't have faith and fear in the same sentence. And so you can have faith and optimism that things are good, or you can be afraid of it. And being afraid is no fun, and it's not something that's productive for me. And so obviously there's hiccups like last night where it does scare me, and it does kind of snap me back to there and how grateful I am to be where I am today. But I realize that, you just kind of have to power through and have faith that things are going to be okay.
I love that.
So going to the iPad here for a second, Tasha says, Victoria, you and Val are my absolute favorite. Carrie says, Victoria,
Tasha.
You're in my top 3. Yes. Come on now. I'm curious, which dance for you has been the most challenging? She asks, as well as another question, but we'll wait.
Most challenging. I think early on the rumba was pretty challenging, but that was also, we had 2 very different dances that week. But honestly, that jive last night, I think it was challenging to learn, but then to go through what I went through and then try to get my legs to kick quickly was definitely challenging.
On that note, where are you with the status with feeling your legs at all? You basically do not.
There's no feeling.
There's no feeling at all. Okay, I just want to make sure I got that right before I ask this next one.
No
so
feeling.
Then how do you know where to put the tape on your legs? Like, in other
my
words,
physical therapist knows.
He knows because of.
Yeah, she just.
She knows.
Yes, sorry. Shout out to Gina.
Sorry
about that.
She is. I have to be very conscientious of my legs, and I've been having knee and ankle issues. So the kinesio basically helps aid my muscles to fire where they need to fire. So it's like a stim. So she knows that if you put it in a certain part of my quad, it recruits my quads. I always have to wrap my ankles because my ankles just roll, and I'll have no idea.
I see.
So it's more as a precautionary thing.
Got you. I wasn't sure because I saw that.
Yeah. Well, and we didn't see, correct me if I'm wrong unless I missed it, we didn't see the footage of dress rehearsal on the show last night, right?
They showed a brief snippet of me taking a tumble. I didn't know they had kind of said, we're going to allude to it, and then we were getting ready to line up, and I saw the footage, and I could, my parents obviously were there, and so I was like, oh.
Probably not something you want to see right before you go out, like, oh, there's me just.
There I am, just like bottled over. But, honestly, I think this is something I've dealt with for years, and so it just so happened to happen on a show day, and it is what it is. You just bad beginnings have great endings, and that was kind of my goal. And then I just kept saying to myself, I'm hurting, but I'm still here. I'm still here. I'm still dancing, and that's all that matters.
The power of positive thinking.
Yes.
I like it. Now, I don't know if you're dating anybody right now, but Braden says you're so inspirational, and he gave you some hearts. With,
Thank you.
Has anyone slid into your DMs?
Yeah, that's right. Who's working your DMs?
There's been quite a few. I have the privacy setting that only I only can see the ones of that I'm following, of people that I'm following.
That's right. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but I have looked at the notifications for if you click, and I'm just I'm not gonna. No.
So what is your relationship status?
I'm very private with that.
You can be private with it. We got to ask for Braden in the hard
What
eyes.
we do is we wait until we're live, and then we ask, and then you've got then you're on the
I'm pretty sure you guys asked me that like 2 weeks ago when you came to rehearsal. I'm currently single.
I wasn't there.
Currently single. Okay. Well, I gotta say, I mean, I would.
There you go, Braden.
Ashley. What do you look for in a guy?
Yeah, Ashley, you work it.
Oh,
See, we're on the subject now. You can't escape. Yeah, what is it? What do you look for in a guy?
I think kindness is a big factor, and someone who's just a cool human, someone who has a good heart. I think we tend to take kindness for granted in people, and so someone who's kind and someone who kind of understands the craziness that I go through and everything. And I think kindness, I guess. I don't
inner qualities, guys.
Yeah, inner qualities.
Inner qualities, not outer.
And sense of humor, and
There you go. She's not looking for abs and biceps, and would that be hurt?
No, I think my mom has always said it's like just someone who has just a beautiful heart, and I'm lucky to have a lot of beautiful hearts in my life.
Listen, that's beautiful.
And I just learned this. You are one of 3, a triplet.
I'm a triplet, yeah.
So you have 2 brothers in that?
And an older brother.
Oh, so that's got to be for anyone you date and take. I mean,
you think Val's looking out for you? You got your brothers.
I've got a 4th brother now.
You got a 4th brother now looking out.
God.
That's awesome.
I want to go back because I love this question from Carrie as well. Thank you, Carrie, for kind of doing our job.
Out here.
Is he?
That's what he said. He's like, I'm on patrol out here. So I was like, all right.
You know what? Val's going to be giving us a question. He's going to be watching, being like, you guys lay off my girl. She's going to stay away from the boyfriend questions. All right, go ahead.
Carrie wants to know, which celebrity have you gotten closest with on the show? You and Lori were so cute last night.
Lori. Her and I just clicked. Like,
no kidding.
She's my fellow Jedi. She's great. Lori, Vanessa, Sasha. I mean, honestly, we've all just we all became a family so quickly that it's really hard to pick just one. I feel like we all just kind of gelled.
You and Lori.
Right away. But Lori, like, I've never clicked with someone so quickly in my entire life.
How much of a Star Wars geek are you?
Yeah, how deep does it go? Come on.
I may or may not have memorized all the Jedi moves when I was a little kid.
Wait, hold it. Can we see some of those? What do you mean?
No.
What is it? What's a Jedi move? It's like the way you hold. No,
I'm rusty.
I gotta see it.
I almost pulled my lightsaber, but
No. You show me then. Show me how. What's a Jedi move? You did. That's how you.
Excellent stance.
Like that.
What's your?
And I have a lot of action figures.
You do still.
What's your favorite line? Give us your favorite Star Wars movie line.
We got to go back. We got to back up for 1 second.
Action figures.
Still has action figures.
They're at my parents' house. They're at my parents' house.
Okay,
they're not at my place.
All right.
But
are they set up?
Proud.
Are they on display?
No, they're in a box. But I am proud. I am proud that I own almost all of the characters.
Do you?
Is there one you haven't gotten yet you're trying to get?
I'm proud of you too.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. No, that ship kind of sailed.
Okay. Yeah, right. I feel this is an untapped. I mean, you could get some Star Wars fans voting for you.
This is a reveal.
You're in the Disney family now, and there's another Star Wars movie coming out in December. I have a feeling I'll see you at the premiere.
I would have a heart attack.
I'll make a phone call.
I would legitimately have a heart attack if I got to go to the premiere.
You would be an amazing Rey or Leia, the brown hair.
I seriously, I told my mom, I was like, I want to be in a Star Wars movie one day, and that was way past. So.
Is acting something you want to do?
Yeah, that's my passion aside from everything else that I do.
Oh, I love
It's been my side thing that's always called my heart.
Wow. Anything in the works?
No question.
Currently, no. But I've had a lot of fun meetings, so we'll see.
Okay. Well, Catherine says, rooting for you, Victoria. What's something we'd be surprised to know about Val?
Come on, give it up on Val. We learned a lot about Mark Ballas last night.
Let's see. Well, Lori informed me on some things that he can break an apple with his hand.
Wow.
So that's he's a Jedi. He's really cool. And he's really cool. He's a great motivational speaker too.
Oh, really?
He gives these epic pep talks, and we'll rap before we rap before we dance, or he raps and I just kind of
Does he really?
Yeah, because I'll say, "Can you spit for me?" Which is basically spit on the ground so I can grip my feet, and it's I'm very superstitious, unusually superstitious with a lot of different things I do. So that's one of them.
Okay.
But before he spits, he'll spit rap. And so it's great. So he's a great rapper.
He's a really great rapper. That's definitely something that we don't know about Val. That's huge.
On the press line next week.
He's a great rapper.
I'm gonna be get ready.
Yeah, he has a lot of talent. Like, he's just an all-around, very talented human being.
Well, Jess asked, what are your plans for after Dancing with the Stars, but maybe some acting.
Hopefully, that would be amazing. Okay.
Have you noticed, one of the, they call it the Dancing with the Stars effect, and, brings a lot of awareness and job opportunities and potential appearances, and have you noticed an increase in inquiries since you've been on Dancing with the Stars? You have.
Absolutely, yeah, and also, that I love acting, and I'd also love to, host my own show. So there's a lot of fun things. I mean, Dancing with the Stars, as much as it's just a really incredible opportunity all around, for sure. And I didn't even think of that. When I signed on to do the show, I just was like, oh, this is going to be really cool. I'm going to learn to dance. And I didn't even imagine the magnitude or the effect that it has had at all.
Awesome.
Like, it's been completely surreal.
Ashley's back. Ashley's back. Anybody wants to know now? It's not like a boyfriend question. He's like, movie night. You should have done Star Wars. And what character? If you had have done Star Wars for movie night theme in the ballroom, what character would you have played?
Ooh, I think I probably would have played like Darth Vader or something.
Ooh, villainous.
Yeah, but he's not though.
Well,
Darth Vader. If you're a real Star Wars geek, you'll know there's good in him.
Sure, the light is in there.
Rey. I do love Rey. I love Rey. She's a powerhouse.
I'm gonna reach over and fix your mic a little bit and touch a gold medalist in the process.
Okay.
Oh my God! I mean, do you guys? You must have been the first and only double gold medal pairing in the trio last night.
I think so.
Oh my God! Amazing.
We had our gold dresses.
How come I didn't ask that on the press line? That's gold.
Well,
see where I'm going?
If we want to quickly kind of roll through some of the B-roll of some of the other dances last night,
I think we should.
I mean, you guys just killed it last night overall, I felt. Victoria and Val with Lori, of course, doing awesome in the gold numbers. And then Jordan and Lindsay with Corbin Blue. I mean, a 60 out of 60. What did you think of it?
Amazing.
It was a little ridiculous.
It was amazing. But they're amazing dancers, but they're also just so kind and so fun backstage. And their energy was just out of this world. And so to see them go out there, I was like, yes! Yes!
I like it. Bringing it back to the kindness again. It's very important, everybody. I like this.
You need to just be kind. Everyone needs to take a moment to just be kind.
If you take one thing away from this Facebook Live,
be kind.
Be kind,
There
everybody.
is good even in Darth Vader.
There you go.
Be kind.
There is good
Look for the
Darth
good in
Vader.
people.
Lindsay and Mark were with Christy Yamaguchi, and we were kind of talking about this before. I mean, people like Christy or Kelly Monaco, they haven't been on the show in a while, and I was amazed at how, even they just like kind of jumped right back in. Did you find that people were remembering the moves really quickly? Do you think you'd remember them, Cam?
Definitely not.
I think
definitely not.
From experience, I think if you train for 5 hours a day, I know after 5 hours you start to kind of see it and feel it, the muscle memory. You hope, but they definitely, oh my gosh, they all killed it. And Lindsay and Mark have just been so much fun. I adore Lindsay. She was so helpful with me last night because she went through a very similar rib situation last week. So her and I were just praying for one another. But I think it was just such a fun creative. And Christy's just a really great athlete. So it helps when you have that athleticism, for sure.
Yet another, one of America's best athletes ever on the floor last night, whatever.
I sat next to her in hair and I was like,
for real?
Yeah, were you kind of fangirling out?
Yeah, I was like, this is awesome.
Was she
When Lori was singing to Corbin, we're all in there. So it was just fun, and Alfonso, he's obviously the Carlton and stuff. So the cool thing with the Dancing with the Stars family is we're all a family, whether you're past or current. It's so fun. There's such a kindred spirit. So it's definitely, you don't even have to know one another to be like, oh yeah, well done. We're cool.
People just get it.
Yeah.
Well, you're freaking out over Christy Yamaguchi. Is there anybody else or a celebrity you've met through doing this, or someone who you would meet who you'd really lose it over?
I was actually, so keeping it in the Dancing with the Stars family, I was so excited to meet Tom Bergeron. Oh. I grew up an America's Funniest Home Video fan. He's from New Hampshire. He's kind of a legend. I was super excited, and he came up to me, and he was like, I'm so excited to meet you. And I'm like, I'm excited to meet you, Tom.
He's a champion
he's awesome.
In his own right.
He is, and, he's so kind. And even yesterday, he was the first person to run over, aside from Val picking me up, and knew immediately that I was having a spasm and immediately was checking in with me. And he's just really, really cool.
You think you're fangirling out then? Wait till you walk the red carpet for the Star Wars premiere and there's Harrison Ford, Mark Hamill, and everybody else.
Oh my gosh.
You won't be able to contain it.
And I've been starstruck very few times, surprisingly. Like, I think it's the people you wouldn't expect that I'd be starstruck with, like Jenny Thompson, who's an Olympic swimmer.
Okay.
I totally fangirled. Like, I met her we were doing an event together, and she walked in, she's like, "Hi, I'm Jenny Thompson." I'm like, because I did, like, dress up as her growing up for, like, book reports. Like, book report. My book report, I was like, you know this? You don't know this?
Report on you?
But I drew a Jenny Thompson cap, and I was like, the whole time we're doing this event, and she's like, you know, we're doing it, and I'm like, okay, I've never asked for an autograph in my entire life, but I will, little Victoria will kick big Victoria's butt if I don't get her autograph. So I finally mustered up the coolness and the courage to do it, and she comes walking over, and she's like, "Do you mind? I'm a big fan. Do you mind signing a photo for me?" And I'm like, like, I was like,
what a moment.
She was asking you for yours.
Me. And I was still in my chair at the time, so I was like, if I was standing right now, my legs would have legitimately given out.
Wow.
And so I was like, "Do you mind signing one for you?" She goes, "Oh my gosh, yes," and like wrote this beautiful thing.
I love that you dressed up for your book report.
Oh, I was Jenny Thompson for years.
But what a student you are to dress up for a book report.
My kid's got to step it up.
Frankie and Whitney were with Alfonso last night. I got to give a shout out to Cam, you guys, because Cameron suggested that they incorporate the Carlton, and Whitney took his suggestion, and that's how the Carlton wound up in the dance last night. Cameron Matheson.
I don't like to brag with my choreography background. You know, like, it's just when you see me dance, you understand.
I know. You think Val has many talents.
I mean, by the way, like, just about anybody would have probably suggested that, but that's okay.
No.
It was me that actually did the suggestion. But yeah, and when I went to the rehearsal, I said, "So how about the Carlton being in there? I think would be great." And they're like, "No, no way." And then after I left, Whitney was like, "You know, that could be fun."
Maybe. And then they did a little like, no, you're not quite going to get it. They were such a fun group. I mean,
look good.
Alfonso shines from within.
Fun.
Yeah.
I love Alfonso. He's great.
Here's the problem with Frankie
He gave me
Muniz.
motivational talk last week.
He did?
Yeah, he was backstage and he gave me this epic pep talk. And I was
Really?
like, yes, thank you.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well,
I tell
he
you,
can
we're
speak,
one
man.
big
You
family.
get him going.
One big family.
You get him going, for sure. But Frankie obviously struggles a little bit with confidence, and the judges were all like, "Get confident and stop all that stuff." And then, of course, he was in Jeopardy last night, which kind of beat down his confidence a little bit. I felt bad for him, but is he going to bounce back? I mean, what do you guys think? You think? Listen, I think it's really going to land on him.
You think he's in trouble next week?
I think being in Jeopardy. I mean, I'm rooting for him. I'm a big fan of his. But he seems like very easily affected by, taking the hits a little.
Well, I loved how Len kind of went into him, and it was also really funny to me that Len said, "Frankie, you have to stop being so insecure in these little things." I was like, "They're called packages, Len. You've been on the show."
Yeah, these things that come on in the air, whatever they are.
Packages. But Frankie has got to find that confidence, but he's also so lovable. He was here last week, and it's funny how hard he is on himself, and I wonder if it's that child star thing of like he's just always been kind of scrutinized. Has Alfonso given Frankie a pep talk? Like, what are you guys saying to him backstage?
We have pep talks. We have group pep talks. Whitney, Frankie, and I will have like a group pep talk. We've had it for the past couple of weeks for sure. I think honestly, it's hard. You're putting yourself out there, and you work so hard, and I think we all struggle with that. I think we all have moments where we're like, can we, like, I know before my jive, I was like, mind you, I think even if I didn't have the health scare I had, I'd still be that way. It's intimidating, and there's so many great dances. There's so many great dancers. It's an epic season, so it's you got to just build each other up. I think that's the biggest thing, and we take that for granted in competition. But you got to remember, we're literally all in this together. Let's build one another up, and we're all putting ourselves out there.
And it's really interesting. I mean, we've been hearing you talk about it on different times, that it's like that family feeling. You're all in it together. You're supporting each other. As viewers, I think, some of the time you want couples to be rooting against each other and trying to beat the competition and who's going to.
So hard.
But it's just not like that. It's not the way that it's structured with
all
the rehearsals, and you're there and you're in each other's rehearsal rooms, and you're getting to know each other, and you're hanging out, and it's just not like that.
No, and even last week with the team dances, like it's such a family. You get together, you're all working so hard, all the pros are working so hard. You have to remember the bigger picture. You have to remember that we're all doing this, we're all together doing this, and we're all going to root each other on. It's better to build people up than tear them down, because tearing them down just hurts you and everyone else.
That's for sure.
Well, Jessica says, I think Frankie will make it to the finale. I have to say, I saw a little bit of tension on Whitney's face last night when Carrie Ann was giving her critique, because they were still kind of being, I don't know, that trio dance was awesome, and they were getting some feedback, and I don't know, Whitney was, I think she was kind of looking like, I'm not sure I know what you're talking about. You know, it has to be so hard to stand there and stay quiet.
Stoic.
Yes.
Well, I got to tell you, the reaction that I remember from Whitney at the judges' table is when Tom Bergeron said, what did he say? But he alluded to the fact. He alluded to the fact that he was talking about Whitney's past partners, but it sounded like she had a lot of past boyfriends. And it was, and she was like, "Wait, what?"
Out of hand.
It got out of hand, right?
Well, no, it was. I think like we all knew what he meant.
We all knew what he meant.
I think it just.
But except for Whitney. We all knew what he meant, except for Whitney.
Okay. In defense, when you finish a dance, I know for me, I'm just like
out of breath, can't hear very well in there.
Like last night, I was like,
oh, Tom said
I'm even together at the judges' table all look like really beautiful. You're like,
don't cry, Victoria.
Sweating.
Like I got so many texts from people who were like,
we have the quote here. Tom said, I'm guessing he's not the first guy who's lost control of Whitney. Well, she's a firecracker, sure.
Hey. Strong, independent
woman.
What?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you for that quote.
And did you just say, have you almost been in tears standing in front of the judges before?
No, last night I was in so much pain that I wanted to cry. Like, I'm sitting there and I'm like, and my friends, all the people that know me were just like, they're like, we could totally see that you were just like and even Val's like, are you good? I'm like,
God.
You know,
well, thank you for giving us a great show, seriously.
Oh, no, thank you guys. I couldn't have done it without the support and the love. Felt it.
I mean, you know, those shows also live. Like, Carrie, I think, said AF last night. She was like, I didn't say the word.
Yeah, that's right. She goes, it wasn't a bad word.
Live television.
Very last, we had Drew and Emma with Rashad. Drew is actually at the bottom of the leaderboard, and I gotta say, I feel like Drew's been struggling. I don't know. I would not be surprised if it was Drew's time next week. I think it's tough to put Drew up there with Rashad. Rashad is last season's champion. He's so awesome. It was hard to not compare the two.
Did you feel that?
Killed it.
I actually thought, and by the way, let's just be real clear here. I'm not like a dancing judge, but I thought that he did, and he kept up with Rashad way better than I had expected. Like, I thought they looked really. I don't know if there was a lot of sparkles going on, so sometimes it was hard to actually see the dance. You know what I'm saying? It was so bright and sparkly. But I thought.
Oh, we're gonna fly somebody in to fix Victoria's mic real quick.
Oh my God! You're about to get.
I'm gone.
You're about to get famous.
We need to finish strong.
Loved it. I loved it. I love all three of them.
Oh my God,
Emma
yes.
and Drew. They have just absolutely crushed it. Drew was our team captain last week in team dances. Epic human being.
Yes.
We've all hung out prior to even doing team dances. It was great. I think it was strong. It was sparkly. It was fun, and that's like what you want. You want to like make people smile and have fun, and that was like, there, we're good, we're back, and it was just a lot of fun. I loved it, and you know, Rashad, I think you can't compare. You know, you got to celebrate the trio.
Totally.
Like, you got to celebrate the trio.
Well, let's talk about the fact that I think they're wearing mirror ball jackets, which is amazing. And Drew Scott
and Emma looks fine.
Oh,
like,
my God.
Emma, I need that outfit in my eyes.
And Drew Scott couldn't be a nicer guy.
Yes.
I think he is trying so hard, and I think that it is hard when you put him up there. Even
I appreciate you saying that. I mean, you got to make it to somebody's got to go
Somebody
home in the
has to go.
semifinals. And you know, if you think it's Drew, I'm not sure. I might think Drew's going to make it. He's got a big fans for the Property Brothers are very popular. I feel like, I mean, as much as I love Frankie, I feel like he kind of took a hit this week, and I don't know how that's going to affect his confidence. I know Jessica disagrees, and that's awesome.
Yes.
But you know, we got to pick somebody.
It's hard.
It's tough.
It's so hard. I feel like we're now at the point where like anybody who is going to go home is going to feel like a blow, because you feel very emotionally attached to everyone, and everybody is working so hard. What are you feeling like is your strategy going into next week, going into semifinals? You were telling us you're really excited about the dance you have.
I'm super excited. After last night, I feel like it was a bit of a reality check for both Val and I, and we realized, it's like we got to just have fun. We got to really enjoy this and celebrate the fact that I don't have spasms like that every day, and that I can move and I can walk and I can dance. And so we want to celebrate that. We want to keep that light, but we have contemporary, and I'm so excited because I have wanted to do that forever. Since when I was really little, I took a dance class. I remember walking next to a contemporary class and being like, wanting to do it, but I was too young to do it. And so, and I've loved all the contemporaries on the show. And so I'm really excited for that. And we have another dance, but I'm not really sure what that one is. But
have you heard the music for your contemporary yet?
Not yet.
Oh, so you're going to find out later today.
You're going to find out today.
Yeah.
But some of the options that we've been discussing, it's going to be powerful. So I'm really excited.
Powerful, telling a personal story is part of that contemporary?
Possibly.
Okay. Right. Can you give us any more, a little tease?
I think from what I've heard, I mean, obviously we haven't finalized the creative, and that's Val's job, but it's going to definitely be heartfelt, and it's going to tell a story and hopefully help people. It's definitely going to be something from my heart and something I haven't really necessarily talked about or explored in any other way aside from writing. But my book's not coming out till May, so it's going to be kind of a piece of that, I think.
Good for you.
Wow.
Can't wait.
We'll see. I mean, the pressure's on now. It could be drastically different.
That's right.
But that's what I'm hoping.
Sarah sends in a question here. If you win, I hope you do, where will you keep the infamous mirror ball trophy? Where do you think you'll put it?
I mean, that would be amazing.
It's a good problem to have.
Next to Luke, next to Yoda.
That's it. That's right. I mean, with
next
the
to my
mirror ball,
life-size cardboard cutout of Darth Vader.
Yeah.
That would be weird.
No, that's normal.
No, I don't know. It's not normal, and neither is my Harry Potter wand.
Oh!
What house are you in?
What
house are you in?
Gryffindor.
Gryffindor.
No hesitation from you.
Obviously.
You really knew what to ask.
I'm a nerd.
Okay, let's be. I haven't gone to Harry Potter World out here yet.
Oh,
so
you gotta go.
I think we need to go.
Yes.
I think we need to go. Sorry, back to the question. We should have that be a segment.
No, that's right.
You can watch Victoria geek out at Harry Potter World. I will tell you a story after about Harry Potter World.
Our cameras will be there.
You should, because you will watch me just run around twirling my wands. No joke, no shame.
A true Gryffindor.
I'm true. Tried and true. I don't know where I'd keep it. I think probably at my parents' house. Okay. They laugh that they'll put it on the mantle. Which Lori was telling me that her parents had joked about that, and they actually did put it in the living room. So I'd probably put it somewhere there. I'd honestly, for me, if I got that opportunity, I just want to share it with everyone. I'd want everyone to have a piece of it. So I just want to pass it on.
Feels a little different than a gold medal.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that would be up there.
Yeah,
that would be up there.
I don't know either.
Honestly, I mean, that would definitely be up there for sure.
Awesome. Well, so your book is out next year?
In May.
Do you know? Can you tell us anything about do you know the title yet, or anything else you can tease?
It's called Locked In.
And
it's a multi-layered term of a literal term, but it's also a military term of you lock in on a target. And so for me, a lot of what I'm doing now was stuff I kind of focused on when I was locked in.
Wow.
It's kind of all the...
There's a lot behind those eyes.
You don't hear... Yes,
no,
there
is.
There is.
That's really cool.
There's a lot.
Good for you.
There isn't much about Harry Potter or Star Wars. No? So, no, I don't...
There's other books for that stuff. We got other books for that.
There's a brief story in there about Harry Potter World, but that's it.
Oh my God. Well, I wish we could talk Harry Potter and Star Wars all day because I would be totally okay with that. But we got to wrap up here. Victoria, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Cam, thank you for choreographing with me.
You're welcome. You're welcome, everyone.
Frankie's dance.
You're welcome, America.
Do you want to help out with ours?
Yeah.
How is your contemporary
What time
skills?
is our rehearsal?
2:30.
2:30. I'll see you at 2:30. Very good.
Guys, make sure to follow Victoria on social media. Get her book next year. And, of course, vote for her and Val
Voting's
because
still
they need your votes. The semifinals. She's made it all the way, and we want to see her go even further. Thank you, everybody, for being here at ET Live. Make sure to like ET on Facebook and subscribe to us on YouTube. And we're here every Tuesday morning recapping Dancing with the Stars. And tonight on ET will be Cam's backstage interviews from the red carpet.
You don't want to miss that.
No. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.
See you guys.
Bye.